Good morning, I'm Sharaad Kuttan and welcome to BFM's Morning Headlines. It's the 14th of March and day 7 of the disappearance of flight MH370. Yes, the question is, and that's in the newspapers, in all the newspapers, is what do we know now that we didn't know 7 days ago? Very little apparently, and the newspapers have that on their front pages there because there are differences in how they approach it. There's in fact a clear division now. The first one is this, saying precisely that. Still no sign, says the Sun. Petunjuk apa lagi? What signs, what possible signs can come up? And Berita Harian, speechless, no words to say what they want to say. They have a big question mark. There it is, front page, very noisy because in fact the airways has been filled with noise, rumors and of sightings and such, but nothing coming to any kind of conclusion. The Sun has there a list of things that didn't pan out to be true. Dead ends, Malay word for dead end is buntu. So there you have dead ends, a litany of dead ends. In fact, that's a phrase for today, a litany of dead ends. And what have the dead ends included? Debris sighted by the Vietnamese, debris sighted by the Chinese authorities. We've learned perhaps of a turn back, but how much of a turn back and whether that turn back that was detected on the radars of the military was in fact flight MH370, that's not actually been confirmed. What it has resulted in, of course, is the expansion across the globe of the search area. Search and rescue continues. We had a story of an emergency landing in Nanning. Of course, we had conspiracy theories, theories of sabotage linked to the question of why the transponders went off. But that's still not conclusive because a catastrophic event like the breakup of a plane due to an explosion or just some fault could have rendered both transponders inactive simultaneously. So lots of things, lots of lists, and I think a very disappointed media in general. Now the other papers have this. It's a gesture, it's a kind of emotional, sentimental gesture. Perhaps for some it's a little maudlin, but yes, we will not give up. There it is. Utusan Malaysia has it, tidak akan putus asa, was a direct translation. And there, the Malay Mail, we won't give up. So how many ways can you skin this cat and say the same thing? So Defence and Acting Transport Minister Hisham Mudin Hussein has pledged that Malaysia will not give up. But it's not just the Malaysians who won't give up, the Chinese authorities. Remember, the Chinese lost many nationals in the disappearance. Some 2/3 of the passengers are Chinese nationals. Now, the third sort of response we have is linked to this image. There apparently are cranes of hope. Yes, origami cranes. Now in some cultures this is a gesture, a prayer, a prayerful gesture, because we have had a lot of that, images of prayer there on Harian Metro, not just for the Muslims on board but also for the non-Muslims. That's been stressed by the government. I guess in some countries it's not prayer but maybe a teach-in where experts come in, tell the public how to think about the issue. This, of course, is happening in the media to some extent. It could happen in many more ways. Now, the other big story, of course, is the haze, and the Star makes a connection between the hazy conditions around the Klang Valley and such. It's led to the closure of over 130 schools, and the hazy understanding we have of what happened to flight MH370. So they have everything is just so hazy, the air and the airplane. So they bring those two things together. Also in the papers today, I think worthy of note is this story. It's on page 2 of the Sun. Chief Justice Arifin Zakaria says that there has been no interference from the executive in the sedition case of Karpal Singh and in the sodomy case of Anwar Ibrahim, despite allegations of such. Well, the responses come quite swiftly from Lawyers for Liberty. They have said that it's not for the judiciary to say that they're independent, but for all those others, the public, the legal fraternity, watchdogs on the judiciary to say that. So it's pointless for the judiciary to pat itself on the back. Sorry, Chief Justice, no point you blowing your own trumpet. It has to be done by somebody else. That's all we have for you this morning on BFM's Morning Headlines. I'm Sharaad Kuttan, BFM 89.9.